Neutral, and we are playing Welcome to Arenthul. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. So we only have a couple things, orders of business from last week. First up is Tana leveled. So Tana, are you planning on rolling for your hit points or just taking the static?
I'll roll.
Alright.
Roll off or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. You get a D8. So go ahead and roll a D8 for hit points.
Alright.
If you don't roll like a 1, I'm gonna be mad.
Wait, did you guys see that roll? The one that
No.
I did? Okay. So Tana, do you want to take your roll or mine?
I'll take yours.
Good choice. I got a 6.
Nice. Alright.
Which means that you get 8 hit points from that level, putting you at 25 total.
Just sitting here with my 15. Hanging out.
I think I have almost as much as a dwarf, which is pretty weird for a druid to help.
Doesn't Flintlocke have like 30 something? 32?
Yeah.
34.
34.
Alright. So then last time we left off, you were all in the...
What about our gold, Rocky?
Oh! Right, second order of business.
Gold!
Last week... Last week, I'm just going to run over the loot real quick and make sure I have it right. The belt was picked up by Flintlocke and made him completely invincible to alcohol, correct? The boots by Ostarion, the longsword by Helga, the skull also by Helga, and the Trinity of Rings was picked up and then handed to Ostarion. Is that all correct? Lack of opposition says yes.
I got a belt.
Oh. Alright. Ostarion is only temporarily holding on to them. They're just like in his bag. He's not like wearing them, which I think is a good point.
Okay,
Sure.
I'll make it a point to put on all of the rings sometime soon, just for you. Alright?
Alright, then you guys
I'll
pulled
probably
out...
die, but...
You guys pulled out 459 copper total from the entire goblin encampment, which means you could each take 114, leaving a remainder of 3 if you like. Yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Then go ahead and add 114 to each of your sheets. Then you got 137 copper, which is 34 with a remainder of 1. And you got 29 gold, which is 7 with a remainder of 3.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was...
34 silver,
So just
7 gold.
So we each add 34 silver.
Yes. And 7 gold.
Alright.
Yeah.
What is EP on the money sheet?
It's Electrum. They are worth 5 gold.
Oh, okay. I just don't even recall seeing that. It was probably there last week, but I just noticed it. Did we get copper? Or
Yeah, I think I said 114. Yeah, 114
Each?
each.
Ooh.
Damn.
Or 1 gold, 1 silver, 4 copper. But you have it in copper pieces. Alright, then we left off in the Rose's Thorn main camp.
Now with 100% more green.
Whoa! Bigger grass.
So I'm going
all
to
the way.
zoom out a little bit. I made a major update to the map last week after the confusions. We now have a blacksmith here, which if I can ping, apparently I can't. Oh. A blacksmith here. We have an armory up here, a range training ground, melee training ground, and a combat arena, in essence. And you have the kitchens up top, the actual serving tables, and then the places where people can go to eat. You've got the Rose main tent violet main tent, random black tent that you guys still aren't sure about, and the Arden main tent. You've got a bit of a horse stable over here, which I never actually finished. I just threw a bunch of horses over there. Here is your little camp over here. Tana sleeps out next to the hedge, where like there's a bit of a tree intersecting the hedge. And then this is just the rest of the camp over yonder. A couple of things. Timotheus and Charles Arden now both have tokens, which you can see in the middle. Last week I was just pointing to where they were.
Timotheus's
Health and stuff?
name
Okay.
and health.
I will fix that. That's a really easy change.
Are we only supposed to be able to see the northwest corner of the camp?
No. You're supposed to be able to see all of it.
Okay, I'm only getting the northwest corner. I can see pieces of the black and blue tents. I can see all the yellow and the red, and then like everything northwest corner. I can see like part of the tables.
You should be able to like scroll around and stuff, like with the.
Let me zoom in and see if I can force it to. Okay, I got some more tables. Oh, you know what it was? I was just zoomed way too far out. Although when I zoom in, it's like way up close. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm trying to force it all to load. I'll see if I can get it working.
Yeah, it is a big map, so it does have loading issues that I've noticed. Also, Flintlock, I upgraded your dwarf to actually be a dwarf with a two-handed weapon instead of a gnome with a sword and a shield, so it actually looks a little bit more like you.
Oh, very good.
You can see yourself on the serving table over there.
Right where I belong. Thank you.
Yep.
And Tana's fixed as well.
Yeah, Tana, I actually figured out how to get my my photo editing software to export without a background. So Tana, you now don't have a white aura light, I guess. All right, and last time we left off,
Probably useful.
you guys were very, very annoyed that the royals would not let you into their conversation, and eventually they finished up, and Raventh approached you and sat down at the table across from you.
Starting off right.
The thing is that belt doesn't actually do that much. It gives you a +1 on the checks. That's it.
I already had 5, so I'm rocking a 6. I am rolling high. So it's all good.
All right. Well, he sits down and says, "You wanted to join the conversation?"
Apparently the conversation joined us.
What was it you wanted to speak about?
I guess we were curious to know what all is going on here.
Well, this is the Rose's Thorn main camp. And he just pauses there, obviously expecting you to know what that is. And
I'll give him a blink stare.
We're a thieves guild, pretty much. Our goal is to help the poor as much as possible, and it is led by the royal children of the 3 cities. Technically, I am King Regent of Trevok, but I wasn't when we started it. So yeah, the place is led by the Prince of Barash, the Princess of Draklin, and the King Regent of Trevok. It's for the good of the poor.
You need a quote-unquote thieves guild to give money to the poor?
In Trevok, not as much anymore since I'm in charge, but in the other 2 cities, there are certain others getting in the way.
The others such as...
Sigarda's mother. for example. She has a very different idea
Okay.
on how to rule than Sigarda does.
I had noticed, yes.
Anyway,
So why?
so we would like to enlist your help. We have a significant number of problems right now, and we have too many groups out. We can't get to all of them.
Our help, is that so? Tell us what you would like us to do, and we'll maybe we can help.
So, the issue that we would like to hire you for is of great sensitivity to this nation. So I would need your word before I explained that even if you do not accept, you will not go around telling people of this problem.
You have my word. I cannot speak for everyone here, however.
He looks to Captain Helga. What? Captain Helga, you have somebody staring at you asking if you will remain silent about the task that he is about to request of you.
As silent as I can.
What are... No. What? How are you so immune? He stares at Captain Helga a little bit longer and then turns to Tana.
Sure, why not? I'll keep quiet about it.
Raventh just kind of like nods his head towards the dwarf and says, "What about him?"
I think he's too drunk to understand what's going on right now, so I don't think you really have to worry.
All right. And he places his hands like palm down on the table and gets like really serious. Like usually, Raventh is really relaxed and he just kind of just says whatever's on his mind, and so he's really serious and he's really stressed out about this at this moment. And we believe that we are going to have a bit of a undead outbreak, if you will. It's going to start in the catacombs in Draklin. And we would like you to go there and prevent it from spreading.
How do you end up with an undead outbreak?
We're not sure.
You're not sure either.
We have certain people skilled in tracing the auras of magic, and they have been plagued by a certain dark presence in the land, and we have been able to recently feel its power circulating the catacombs.
I stare at Raventh with a raised eyebrow and say, that's not the most convincing theory I've ever heard.
Why so?
It's just lacks evidence, I guess.
Dark magical energies are gathering on a catacomb, and do you believe there's any other solution?
I suppose not.
We could burn the city down. That would probably fix it. Just saying, people could go live in the wilds like normal humans. It's just an option. It's just an option.
Just to get this straight, your recommendation for fighting off a necromantic outbreak is killing all the humans and burning their city?
I think she said
Wouldn't
just
have to
burn.
kill them. They could, yeah, just burn down the city and the people can go live someplace else. You know, easy fix.
Oh, okay.
Her recommendation, not mine. Let us continue.
I just like to understand all the perspectives. So, are you interested or not?
I would like a private word with my companions here before we give you a definitive answer, I suppose.
As you wish. And then he walks back to the command tent and rejoins that conversation.
Alright. Alright. So, everybody except the dwarf, because I don't even know if he understands the word we're saying right now. Thank you, Master Dwarf. Well done. Listen, if we take this job, I'm in charge. Alright? This makes me your boss again. You'll be in my employ, and I will pay you accordingly. I don't exactly appreciate my property being stolen, and I would like it to remain in my own possession. And as we continue, I would also appreciate it if certain individuals did not undermine any actions that I took, politically or otherwise. If that's can be agreed on by everybody, then there's no problem with me. But if
I don't agree, except on the whole thing about politically. Because if you want to run for mayor, I promise not to run against you. That's fine. But as far as this, whatever we're about to go do, you got to cut me in as an equal. Plus,
no.
Plus, I don't steal your stuff.
Fair enough. I guess the dwarf can understand this after all. That's good to know. We're still absolutely equals, but I'm still the boss man, you know. So, how do you roll another 26, man? How is that even possible?
You would think that Coleman was sitting here right next to me doing this, right?
Totally. Twice in a row, like.
Critically undrunk. Wow.
Ugh,
That is pretty impressive.
that's insane.
But I do appreciate you not running against me. Alright. I pointedly look at everybody else, I guess. The only reason I'm asking you for your assistance with this is, well, Tana, you seem to think that there's something else going on, and I happen to agree with you. And I've thought it over, and I would like your help figuring out whatever is going on is. It seems to me that there's something. It just doesn't add up. Like, I don't know.
Does this mean
This
we're
place
friends
is
again? Are we friends, Austin?
no.
No.
That this place is like a thieves guild or something. Doesn't really make sense to me. But
All right. Before we go, though, I want to look at the rings and the skull again. And I'm just going to assume that they told us what they discovered last week, at like the very end of last week about the skull. Or did they not tell us?
I would assume.
Also, that's a great.
I guess the Captain Helga would have told us, because that was her discovery, I think, right?
It was her and you, and I'm just going to assume you guys told everybody else, unless, like, you didn't.
I mean, yeah, sure.
If there's
Alright,
information
then-
that the party has, I'm fine with you all knowing it, unless there's a reason not to.
Alright, then I would like to look at the rings and the skull again before we leave for Jacqueline to see if there's anything else useful we can get from this camp. That's
Sure, but my guideline or whatever still stands. I will need them back.
alright, you can get in the back.
All right, Captain Helga, is that all right with you?
Did we get a long rest, by the way?
Yeah, we did, I think. Yeah, I think we did, because we got to camp, then... Well, I don't know if you had a long rest, to be honest. You might have just been up drinking all night, but...
Oh yeah,
how
because
I-
he was
that's how
doing
I
Fair
the
enough.
drugs. We were getting him mushrooms.
That's right.
That
we
might
were
have been
doing
like
mushroom-
damage or something.
Nah, well, what could go wrong? All right. Well, if that's fine with everybody, I guess we can accept this work from Ravent and see what details he can give us.
All right.
Sound good, everybody?
Yep.
Nice. All right. Well, I guess I'll go find Ravent and tell him. Is he just in the... Yeah, there he is. All right.
Yeah, he's just in the middle.
Oh, actually, before I walk away, can anybody do like a arcane check, like on the camp, like the same sort of like check that we did on those houses that were like cursed or whatever, just to like see if there's any like magic around.
I did some Arcana.
Alright.
Wow, sweet.
Alright, I'll tell us that then.
They must
Alright.
have hedge wizards.
By the way, I just had my mic muted for the stream. But I told them that there's magic in the hedges around the edge of the camp.
In the shrubberies. Alright, well, then I guess I will go talk to Ravent then.
Okay. So do you just like walk up?
Yeah.
Alright, so you get close and the conversation obviously cuts off, but nobody tries to stop you. They just let you walk up to the table.
Okay. Don't stop on my account. Can I shake or introduce myself to whoever this guy is?
You can if you want.
I will do so.
Okay. What do you say?
I say hello.
Hey.
My name is Ostarion. I would like to introduce myself.
Okay.
Mission accomplished.
Okay.
You're talking to Charles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I recognize him, or is it like...
Vaguely, but not really.
Okay, that's fine then. I guess I'll just turn back to Ravent then. We have decided to accept your job.
That's good to hear. You'll need a guide, so we're going to send Sigarda with you, if that would be alright.
I suppose that will be alright.
Alright, When would you like to leave? It is kind of important that we get there soon.
We can leave in an hour or so. If that's all right.
If you wait about 2 hours, you'll get a very solid meal in before you leave.
Fair enough. Sounds good to me.
All right. Is there anything else that you need to talk to us about?
Sigarda, could I have a private word, actually?
She shrugs and she walks over to her tent and opens the front.
All right.
Then the two of you walk in, and she turns to you, and she obviously relaxes as soon as she gets through like the opening into the tent.
Hello, Sigarda.
What's up?
Nice tent. Just had a few things to discuss. One of which being, there you go, and I'm going to give her a small flower that I found by the side of the road. It's a nice gesture.
She accepts it, and she takes she like breaks the stem off, and she goes over to a book on her desk and sets it inside it and like crushes it so that it'll like preserve and dry out, so that it'll like not just die in a week and be thrown out.
I was hoping to use this opportunity to kind of repair our relationship, as it were. We kind of got off on the wrong foot. Part of that was definitely my fault. So I would like to apologize for punching your servants.
Much ways has happened to Timotheus. He'll get over it, and so will I.
That's good to hear then. But, however, I do believe that you were in possession of something that used to be mine.
My heart.
And what would that be?
A small blue gemstone shaped like a petal, much like the red ruby that I gave you earlier.
That would have originally belonged to the Violet family for hundreds of years. So it was technically in your possession, but it was never your property. If you'd like, I could give you a finder's fee.
That's alright. Well, despite the fact that I feel like it should have ended up as mine because the Violet family lost it in the first place, no finder's fee is necessary. However, I would like to perhaps ask a favor of you.
And what would that be?
In return for my lost property, I guess. Well, as you perhaps know, my family home is not in the toppest of shape at the moment. So perhaps the crown could assist with any repairs that might come up, as it were.
So she goes over to her desk and starts flipping through some papers and like looking, and obviously it's all numbers and things. And it takes her a couple minutes, and she turns back to you and says, "I could not officially provide any help from the royal family, or from Jacqueline, or from Arenthul, but from my personal allowance, I could give some aid."
I suppose that is better than nothing. It wouldn't be just you flat out covering the costs. There also is the old Rose Town that could be turned into a suitable village again, and could possibly help out.
The only problem with that is
Number
that
of
we already
people.
have port towns. We don't need an additional port town, and there's no fertile ground there for growing crops. That's why we originally moved over here.
Well, maybe we can turn it into a fishing village or perhaps a trading outpost.
It's fair. I'll have to do some more thinking and run some more numbers, but I will definitely do what I can to help you.
All right, thank you.
Is there anything else?
That's all.
Then if you don't mind, we
Alright.
do have a few important matters to discuss before we leave.
Yeah, of course.
Then she just heads out back to the table, and you hear them discussing something about barbarians and the unknown lands. Do you hang out to hear the entire discussion?
Sure. If you want, it doesn't matter if it's.
They're obviously uncomfortable with you there, but it doesn't necessarily stop the discussion.
Okay.
Alright, so then you hear all about the group of barbarians coming from the north that are going to attempt to invade Draklin, and they've already sent out a force to try to intercept them. Then they're going to cross over the area in the ocean where the distance between is the shortest, and Raventh brings up the fact that there has been a sea serpent in those waters for generations, and nobody's been able to get past it. And Charles explains that they have a new type of speedboat that will actually allow them to get across the water fast enough that the serpent wouldn't be able to catch them. But unfortunately,
Speedboat,
that
wow.
kind of, not like gasoline motor, but like it's designed for getting through the water quickly, so you can get across that space without the serpent intercepting you. Unfortunately, the boats won't be able to hold much, only 5 or 6 people on board each one with no additional merchant, they wouldn't work for a merchant. And then they move on from that topic onto an additional topic, and you can tell that everything that they're saying is in a kind of code. They're intentionally not letting you understand the conversation.
I'll bow out then. That's fine.
Okay.